Dear students, myself Professor V.S. Kale, Department of Electronic Science, KTHM College, Nasik. Today you will learn Core Compulsory Theory course, subject ELT 231, Advanced Communication System. Its Unit 2 title is Pulse Communication Systems, and its first topic is Pulse Amplitude Modulation, Pulse Width Modulation, Pulse Position Modulation. Let us see the outline of today's lecture. First, we'll see the detailed syllabus of Unit 2, what you will learn in this unit. Then we'll start its first topic, pulse amplitude modulation. In short, it is called PAM. Then pulse width modulation, in short, PWM. Pulse position modulation, in short, PPM. Then we'll see the differences between PAM, PWM, and PPM. Then we'll summarize the lecture. Now see the detailed syllabus of Unit 2. The whole unit is related to the digital communication. The title of unit is Pulse Communication Systems. The subtopics are PAM, PWM, PPM. Pulse code modulation, delta modulation, adaptive delta modulation, time division multiplexing, frequency division multiplexing, characteristics of data transmission circuits, bandwidth requirement, speed, baud rate, noise, crosstalk, distortion. There are different digital codes. You are already familiar with the ASCII code, EBCDIC code, error detection codes, parity check codes, redundant codes, error correction codes, retransmission, forward error correcting code, Hamming code. Then you will learn digital modulation techniques, amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, phase shift keying, quadrature phase shift keying, modulation and demodulation techniques. Here you will see the block diagrams and you will learn the working of it. There are different data link protocols. You will learn SDLC, HDLC, X modem protocols, ASK, FSK, PSK, QAM telephone modems, cable modem, and DSL. This is about the second unit detailed syllabus. This whole is related to the digital communication. For this, different reference books are there. The first one is Electronic Communication Systems by Kennedy. Antenna Theory Analysis and Design by Balanis. Electronic Communications by Roddy Cullen. Communication Electronic Principles and Application by Fresnel. Digital Data Communication by Miller. Introduction to Fiber Optics by Ghatak and Tyagarajan. Advanced Electronic Communication System by Thomasy. Unit 2, most of the syllabus is in Fresnel book, Miller book, and last Advanced Electronic Communication Systems, Thomasy. Now we'll start the first topic of Unit 2, that is pulse amplitude modulation, in short PAM. In PAM, the amplitude of the pulse carrier signal is varied according to the amplitude of the analog modulating signal. Now see the figure. In the figure, first signal is modulating signal. It is time varying signal. Amplitude is varying. There is increase in amplitude, decrease in amplitude, and the whole signal is above the reference line, that is positive. Second figure is pulse carrier. Number of pulses are shown. This is the carrier wave. Now in PAM, the amplitude of the pulse carrier signal is varied according to the amplitude of analog modulating signal. Now observe the related PAM signal. As modulating signal amplitude increases, here carrier amplitude also increases. As in modulating signal, the amplitude decreases, here the carrier amplitude also decreased in pulse amplitude modulation. So first one is modulating signal, second one is pulse carrier, and third shows the pulse amplitude modulated signal, in which pulse width is constant but pulse amplitude is varying according to the modulating signal. The message information is encoded in the amplitude of series of pulses. There are two types of PAM. One is single polarity PAM, in which the resultant wave pulses are having only one polarity, may be positive or negative. And in double polarity PAM, the modulating signal is having positive amplitude as well as negative with respective to the reference line. Corresponding to that, the PAM signal also has positive pulses as well as negative. So it consisting of both polarity, positive as well as negative. A 2-bit modulator, for example PAM4, will take 2 bits at a time and will map the signal amplitude to one of 4 possible levels. For example, -3 volt, -1 volt, 1 volt and 3 volt. These are the 4 voltage level steps. That's why it is called as an PAM4, and that can be modulated with 2 bits. Demodulation is performed by detecting the amplitude level of the carrier at every symbol period. So you learn about the pulse amplitude modulation. Now see about the pulse width modulation. Pulse width modulation, in short, it is called as an PWM, or it is also called pulse duration modulation, in short PDM. In this, the width of the pulses of the carrier wave is varied according to the modulating signal. Now first see the figure. In that, the first is modulating signal, amplitude varying signal. Second is pulsed carrier. Now third one is PWM signal. Now observe carefully. The modulating signal is having the maximum amplitude, corresponding to that the pulse width is maximum. In second case, when the amplitude of the modulating signal is minimum, corresponding to that the pulse width is also narrow. So here, according to the modulating signal amplitude, pulse width variation is occurring. Pulse width modulation has also been used in certain communication systems where it is duty cycle has been used to convey information over a communication channels. There are 3 types of PWM. First one is the pulse center may be fixed in the center of the time window, and both edges of the pulses mode to compress or expand the width. Here, the pulse carrier center is considered. According to that, as amplitude increases or decreases, the compressed or expansion of the pulse is done with respect to the center. Second one is the lead edge can be held at the lead edge of the window and the tail edge modulated. This is the lead edge, this is tail edge. Lead edge is fixed and tail edge variation is there. According to that, we can get the different width pulses. Third is the tail edge can be fixed and the lead edge modulated. This is tail edge. According to this, as amplitude increases, the width will be increased towards the left side. If amplitude decreases, it will be again decreased corresponding to the pulse carrier. So these are the three types of pulse width modulation. So again observe the figure. First one is modulating signal, second is pulse carrier, and third one is the pulse width modulation. Here amplitude of the modulated signal is constant, only the pulse duration is changing, that is the pulse width changes. This is about PWM. Now let us see the pulse position modulation, in short PPM. In this, the position of the pulses shows variation according to the modulating signal. Now again observe the figure. First one is modulating signal. It is time varying signal. Amplitude variation is there. You already learned about the PWM signal. Of the same modulating signal, pulse width modulation is shown. Now of this, consider the falling edge. At falling edge, constant pulse is appearing. Its width is constant. Its amplitude is also constant. Again consider the second pulse width modulation pulse. At the falling edge, again second pulse is appearing. Dotted lines shows the position of it. So the signal is called as an pulse position modulated signal. The pulse amplitude and pulse width are constant. That does not show variation with the amplitude of the modulating signal, but only the position shows variation. One of the key difficulties of implementing this technique is that the receiver must be properly synchronized to align the local clock with the beginning of each signal. This is about the pulse position modulation. I can observe the figure in which all three modulations are shown. First figure shows the modulating signal. Small vertical line shows the sample points. You already learned about the sample and hold circuits. Second figure shows the pulse amplitude modulation. Amplitude is changing of carrier corresponding to the modulating signal. Third figure shows PWM, pulse width modulation. Width of the pulses are changing according to the amplitude of the modulating signal. And third one is pulse position modulation. At every falling edge, constant width as well as constant amplitude pulses are appearing, that is PPM. So this figure shows three types of modulation: PAM, PWM and PPM. Now let us see the differences between PAM, PWM and PPM. First, pulse amplitude modulation. Amplitude of the pulse shows proportionality with the amplitude of modulating signal. Pulse width modulation. The width of the pulses shows proportionality with the amplitude of message signal. Pulse position modulation. The position of the pulses is proportional to the amplitude of analog modulating signal. Pulse amplitude modulation has low immunity towards the noise. PWM and PPM has low noise interference factor because their noise immunity is high. PAM and PWM transmitter and receiver synchronization is not required, but PPM needs synchronization between transmitter and receiver section. The signal to noise ratio is low in case of pulse amplitude modulated signal, while it is moderate in case of pulse width modulated signals, and highest in case of pulse position modulated signal. The transmission power of PAM and PWM is variable due to the variation of amplitude and width respectively. However, it is constant in case of PPM because both amplitude and width are constant. As the position of the pulses is changed in PPM, so it requires synchronization pulses, while PAM and PWM do not require synchronization pulses. The bandwidth requirement is low in case of PAM, but it is comparatively high in case of PWM and PPM. So there are some advantages of PM as well as some disadvantages of PM, as well as PWM. There are some advantages as well as disadvantages. Similar to that, PPM also some advantages as well as disadvantages. So these are the difference between PAM, PWM and PPM. Let us summarize what you learn. First, pulse amplitude modulation. The amplitude of the pulse carrier signal is varied according to the amplitude of analog modulating signal. Pulse width modulation. The width of the pulses of the carrier wave is varied according to the modulating signal. Pulse position modulation. The position of the pulses shows variation according to the modulating signal. Pulse amplitude modulation has low immunity towards the noise. Pulse width modulation and pulse position modulation has high noise immunity. Synchronization is not required for PAM and PWM, transmitter and receiver, but PPM needs. The signal to noise ratio is low in PAM, it is moderate in PWM and highest in PPM. The transmission power of pulse amplitude modulation and pulse width modulation is variable. The reason is, in PM the amplitude is changing, in PWM the pulse width is changing. Because of that, the transmission power variation is there. However, it is constant in case of PPM. The reason is, pulse amplitude is constant, pulse width is constant. Only there is change in position. The bandwidth requirement is low in case of PM, but it's comparatively high in PWM and PPM. Bandwidth requirement is low in PM, that is the advantage. But disadvantage is its requirement is high in PWM and PPM. PM systems are complex in implementation as compared to PWM and PPM systems. So PM is complex systems, PWM and PPM are less complex as compared to PAM. Thank you.